Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 10. Welcome back to the upper bracket. This is going to be round of 16D, I think. It's kind of weird because there's a bunch of buys, which are like, you know, these ones don't have a letter. Except they do. I don't know. But anyway, this is going to be between Descara and OpenCircleFleet. Who's pretty new to the game, I believe. Or at least I haven't ever seen him in a tournament before. So, playing with the red on black coalition over here on Jaraci. It's going to be our game 1. And obviously, you know who Descara is. He should need no introduction. I think that it's pretty obvious that Descara is the massive favorite in the series here. But we'll see what OpenCircleFleet is able to do. Descara, of course, having many times won or placed in the finals of tournaments here, he's quite a veteran of the game. Didn't get placed in Group A because he actually didn't play in the last tournament, but otherwise you imagine that he would have been one of the highest seeds in the upper bracket here. He actually had a perfect score in the group stage too, so not really any surprises there, but the question is, what can OpenCircleFleet do about it? Let's check our info.txt to see what the pick order was here. Looks like CircleFleet has the pick first. He takes Coalition, and Descara's going to match it. Obviously, Coalition is Descara's main, but I think he's played pretty much everything at this point. Well, I've never really seen him on ConF except for that the BD Rush challenge, but we don't talk about that, do we? So yeah, Coalition is his main, though. He often plays like Galzian if he's against someone who he thinks is going to be pretty easy to beat, but not going to be the case here. The ban comes out for him on Kartoba. He doesn't want to play that one, I suppose. OpenCircleFleet going to ban Firebase Krill. And Descara's going to be happy with that one because he hates the carrier blocking that one. It often gets stuck in weird positions, but he's going to pick Tauren Crater, Kalash Teeth, which is the map that we're on. That should have been obvious. Is OpenCircleFleet, and then Descara grabs Tauren Crater in the Boneyard. OpenCircleFleet takes the Shallows, and Descara picks Canyon Outpost as the ace match. Should we get there? I would be a bit surprised, but hey, you never know. He's going to play this build really old school, the way that we always used to do it, which is SC after 6 salvagers are out, builds 2 more on the second base, but he first gets LAV Fab, then the probe. This is a pretty tried and tested order over here. And OpenCircleFleet, meanwhile, not sure exactly what his build is going to be here, because he does have LAV Fab done. Oh, I think he's building them now, but again, production tab is pretty buggy. But he does have 1 salvage over here. Oh, an anti-air turret post set up already. This is a bit interesting because, like, it can kill the probe, perhaps, but there's not going to be a threat of air anytime soon, so I would definitely wait off on that if I were you, but Descara is just going to hang around here and see what's going on in the main base. He may lose that probe to this turret post, because you know he's going to want to check and see if there's, like, an SC every now and then, but for now, it's another base runner coming out from OpenCircleFleet. He's actually got the production upgrade done, by the way. That's quite interesting. Oh, that's a support cruiser, okay. I generally like, if you're going to go for a support cruiser, I've talked about this a couple times before, but you want to get that after LAV Fab is, or sorry, before LAV Fab is started. Because if you get the tech and you don't build the units, it kind of turns out to be a bit of a waste, so. But he is going to move out to that second base location now, and I think Descara has seen it with the probe here. Oh, but the base runner is going to deny it, so that's pretty nice. And that's a new base runner, but Descara won't know it. He didn't see that the old one moved over, I don't think. Or that the old one didn't move over, that is. Now he moves out with his base runner to grab this artifact here. And Open could actually drop like a turret and stop him here, which would be a bit interesting. But I don't think... Yeah, he's not headed over there now. It's probably too late, so... Just going to trade with an artifact of his own here. He does want to get this moving, though, because that AAV will try to deny it for Descara once he catches wind of this. Actually, you know, it looks like he's going to say that would just be kind of taking the bait. I'm just going to drive straight out. He does set up a turret on the second base, though, so this will be here already when the AVs get there. I don't like the move, really, because he doesn't have any vision. He doesn't know that this is coming, but he will be a bit more ready than you would expect, I suppose. And now he's got AV Fab started as well, but if he's already got Rail Tech, I think he should just build those instead. Probably what he needs is a couple of LAVs to get some vision on the field here, see what's coming for him, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, look at this, there's AVs coming, I'll just build some railguns, but... We have Armor 1 done already for Descara. Here's the artifact. So that brings the scoreline to 1-1. Yeah, Descara instantly gonna smoke here because he sees, okay, well I can't fight this turret with just 2 AVs, but if he stacks up here, he can probably come in later. He actually hit a stop order on everyone, so these guys aren't moving. Oh no. This is a pro tier Descara micro on display, but what a knob. Oops, I turned the music off. I do like how the turret is in range to be healed by the support cruiser, but yeah, like I said, he stacks up enough AVs here, he is able to defend. We do have railguns coming out though, but I think the play here is definitely to bring this base back and like try and keep him alive. Get good, you noobo. Those are fighting words, man. Well, it looks like he's going to prioritize the SC here. Again, no movement from OpenCircleFleet, so no signs of life equals dead SC for sure. These railguns are going to push him out eventually, though. Get good. Yeah, you know, when he'd cast a game like this, he'd be like, oh, no. For like the entire cast. I miss Trent too, but mostly I miss who he used to be. But that's a different story. Fighter and gunship tech here started for Descara, and he's just gonna kind of leisurely move up onto 3 base here. It's gonna put him massively ahead of here, right? Because his opponent has just been relegated back to like 1.5, where he's got these LDMs but nothing else. I think that's no, that's an LAV. That's an LAV too. So yeah, he's not. Oh yeah, I can use the lights. There's like a light that blinks here if a support cruiser is being built. So Open is not going to be rebuilding that base just yet. And Descara's tech switching to LAVs, by the way, he's getting that assault pack started, but also fighter and gunship, I guess, is maybe more impactful tech switch for him. So he's going to have answers to these railguns. He can go in and make another push again if he wants to, but he doesn't even necessarily need to do it, because he's really ahead in eco right now. Hiccups, man. I shouldn't have eaten all those eggs. We do get that turret set down for OpenCircleFleet here, trying to see if he can keep this base burner alive, but obviously that's not going to work for him. And these railguns will be forfeited if he's not careful and holds them by the carriers, so really wants to get these guys out of here as well, I suspect. Yeah, but unfortunately, down goes that railgun as well. And the base burner will most likely be forfeit too here. He's not moving it, so it's not going to have a chance to survive, really. So Descara just starts up the strike fighters here. He has kept this base burner this whole time, by the way, so that's the second extract already coming through, but this artifact is going to be up pretty soon, so that he'll be looking to bring the scoreline to 3-1. And that may be his fastest win condition, to be honest with you. For now, it looks like another support cruiser queued up, which means he probably wants to unlock that carrier. And the LAVs are going to make a bit of a dive onto the carrier now. They can do this, of course. There's quite a few of them. So down goes the rail. Oh, okay. That's nice of Open to say, I know you wanted to get this. Let me just bring it over the dune so you can finish the job. Does get that railgun then, and these LAVs are just going to head back home. And the strike fighters are out. They're going to start getting some serious kills, too. There was actually an anti-air turret posted earlier, remember, but too early, right? I mean, if you set it down that fast, it'll just die, so I do like how he wants to keep his turrets in different locations here, but probably just wants to set that down as fast as he can. But he's going to put down an anti-air turret post here. Base runner actually going to get a kill as well. Turret post is done, though. Yeah, and this was the reason why. But yeah, that turret will just go down because, of course, now the other turret is gone. So really important to get those set up really quickly if you see that you need them. Because otherwise, like by the time you get them set up, it might be a little bit too late. So the AVs then, I mean, there's no turret set up, so they're just gonna march on in. Oh, I love it. Things I never knew I wanted to see. Down goes the support cruiser. And at this point it does look a little bit unsalvageable here for Open. He's gonna get missile battery fab started. Hey, I like that. I mean, he needs anti-air, but he just needs too many things. This is one of those kinds of scenarios. He's got his carrier in sort of an awkward spot too. I would just leave it on the main. If you're getting pressured like this, and you, well, I mean, at this point it's really kind of a little bit hopeless, but generally when you're being pressured and you need to, like, stop the pressure, like don't lose any units and stuff, the best course of action is to bring your carrier and all the units who are over here, like the salvagers and stuff, back onto the first base and just turtle there for a second, right? And that'll give you a bit of time to build up a defense here. Actually, wow, he's got air. I didn't notice that until just now. He's built a gunship though, and I don't really know what the gunship will do because it's not going to kill AAVs really. It can't obviously fight these strike fighters, so. Yeah, anytime you're hitting docking strike fighters, it's a sad time. That BS invulnerability. Here comes that gunship though. I guess we'll see what it can do. Well, oh, not a huge amount, obviously. It's just tasked over to the eco. Again, this is kind of an easy rally point, if you will, but not one that's really likely to succeed. And Descara's got armor, well, 2. I was about to say 3. Doesn't quite have that, it seems, but he's got a fair amount of armor here. He's not going to lose railguns, really. Gunship is actually targeting the carrier for now, so this might just be the desperado, hey, I'm going to attack your carrier type move, but Descara's going to feel pretty comfortable about this one, I think. He might even get SCAA, but I don't think he needs it. Oh yeah, he's got an anti-air turret we'll set up here. And that's going to kill all the units for open, so they're all dead. And he's got that late game carrier, rails, power, everything you want. So yeah, he's just going to play this very, very straightforward here. And this is why this is like the straightforward build for Coalition, is because it works, right? It just kind of feels like he was never really threatened at all. There's no units that have been killed, like, past, you know, these 2 rocks here, so pretty comfortable game for Descara. And now he shall flomp. Skadoosh. Oh, he got a 4th artifact, too. So Descara going to take that one pretty comfortably. And like I said, he's obviously the favorite for this series. Whoa, he has like twice as many CUs collected. Oh, whoops. Didn't load the second game in. But we'll see if OpenCircleFleet can show a couple signs of life here and see if he can adapt his build a little bit. Make this a bit more competitive. Maybe he'll even take a game off him, huh? You never know. Descara can be pretty derpy, right? No. It's not likely, right? But he'll give it his best. Here we are on Torren Crater. A great large map. Big rush distance. I wonder if Descara does anything different. But for now it's 2 on our use again for OpenCircleFleet, which I think was what he did last time. We have actually a base burner retire come out for Descara, so yeah, he's going to play this differently, and he has that probe out now. He's going to fill the main base, though. It's actually interesting. I was going to set up some LDN. Oh yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say, is I don't think he wants 2 on our use here. This is probably an LAV build that he's doing. So yeah, he's going to send these 2 guys out onto that expansion there. And he does have his SC started, so... he has his SC started. So he's going to be going SC first here, just wants that little eco infusion, I guess, because the rush distance is much larger. Less value to have army in the early game here, right? Much more value to have the eco started faster. He is still going to get LAV fab, so he doesn't want to totally go like mega greed style, but that is, I believe, the idea. And on this map, it's probably best to do what he's doing here, where you don't rotate your carrier, you just bring that support cruiser out to the new location. Yay! Another convert to the cause. R.I.P. PogChamp, man. Anyway, AV Fab coming out for Descara. We do have that probe denied now for Open. Yeah, does anyone play on that? But he has his SC coming out here before LEV Fab. I like this. This is just what I was talking about last game. Obviously, you probably get more value for, if you're going to go for eco, to just go for it rather than to, like, get LEV fab first and then not build any. So yeah, this is the correct order of things, I believe. It's a little bit awkward to be long-distance mining RUs here instead of CUs, but... Yes, A-game. I totally agree. That was like the funniest thing ever. I'm so mad it's not there anymore. I used to watch that every morning when I woke up. And every night as I lay in bed, it was on my mind. But now it is gone. And I don't know what to do. Well, the link is there, but it doesn't exist anymore on Vimeo, I don't think. You still have it? Yes! Do it right now. Right now! We need that. Production upgrade, by the way, finally coming out for Descara here. He's going to hold this off for a long time, because again, he's got pretty much perfect information. He had that probe down for quite a while here, and he sends just one LAV out to see it. Doesn't really feel like he needs the production upgrade at all, so he's going to get another SC and move up onto the next base. First, so he does queue up one AV. Hey man, to each their own, you know. It's not your decision what I do in life. Support Cruiser Anti-Air coming out for open. Yeah, I don't think he needs this, right? I mean, well, obviously, I'm the caster, I know he doesn't need this, but whoa, it's BC fab, ooh. But the thing is, when you're playing, like, if you think you need anti-air because you haven't seen anything for a while, if you're playing Coalition, it's pretty easy when you have these base burners out. Just go ahead and send a probe out, see what you can find, right? Because if you can find your opponent's carrier and see that he hasn't got that air tech, there's no reason to get the anti-air. And if anyone's still not aware, you check air tech on Coalition by this little pad here. Oh my gosh, we're having a seizure. Okay. Or more appropriately, Descara's carrier seems to be having a seizure. Anyway, this little pad here will open up and there will be a target that's visible. Same with these three. So it's very easy to see the air tech if you spend a bit of time looking for it. And it's much, much better than just getting anti-air and then sort of hoping that you're... Oh, it rotated. He ruined it. It's much better than getting anti-air and then hoping your opponent does actually get air because... you know, you don't have to invest those resources for nothing. Here's fighter and gunship teching now for open. But this is indeed going to be the party bus from Descara. And again, he's working on pretty much perfect information. He sees everything that's going on here. He's been monitoring the situation. So he knows he's not going to be pressured by anything. He's ready to just kind of drive out with his carrier and see what he can get done. He's also got 2 base burners at least. I think... No, there's no third. Might be nice to see one, but it doesn't look like he's going to build it. To be fair, he is going to need a lot of CUs here, but... Oh, and there's only 2 artifacts live right now, so maybe this is the right choice. But he is going to go for a bit of extraction pressure on the back of this as well. He's already gotten power 1, too. I shouldn't say 2. Power 1 as well, because otherwise you're like, what? There's the first BC queued up for Descara. And he's pretty close to his opponent's third, actually, in terms of, like, when this thing will be finished. It'll probably be done when he gets to about here, so... I think Open probably has never encountered the battlecruiser party bus before. He may be a bit surprised to see this. And even more prophylaxis by him as well, but as he's gotten this power 1 upgrade on his carrier. Maybe thinking he was going to be pressured by those AAVs, but again, the probe is really, really valuable for making you not have to invest money into those techs until you actually need them. So, getting information on his opponent, that would have been definitely the better play. And that's just true of RTS in general, of course, but especially in this game, I think it's really important. It's like StarCraft 2 in that sense. Oh, where's this railgun? There it is. Oh, it's right in my face. There's the first contact then. This railgun is shooting at Descara. And look at that, I was totally right. See, this BC finishes right there. That's like where I said it was going to be. Oh. I'm so good at this game. Anyway, one railgun is not going to stop his carry, especially with no kiting like this, so... Not at all. What? Don't doubt my skills. That's exact... I'm pretty sure I clicked on the exact location that the BC was going to pop. Don't even question. But the BCs are out here. And Descara is actually taking a fair amount of damage, of course, because Jaraci carriers are not super tanky, but he's not going to care unless he really gets low here. To be fair though, Open does have the fighter and gunship tech, so he's got something that his opponent doesn't have an answer to yet, but it won't be terribly hard for Descara to get anti-air once he sees that. And on the first reveal, you don't expect it to kill 2 BCs, so I think he's even going to be fine losing quite a bit to these air units at first if it doesn't really stop him from getting the kill on the carrier. This is definitely an all-in, so... Yeah, the BC is now tasked to finish off this carrier. He'll just leave his carrier to slap the SC to the ground. And, I'm enjoying that way too much. I should stop doing it. You can see the damage on these BCs is pretty freaking huge, so... That's gonna be a paddling, right? And one more volley to finish them off. They don't get any credit for all the work that they put in. Oh, it's because the carrier stole the kill. That's rude. Oh no, this guy who like just came out. That must have been the first shot that he took was on the carrier, and he killed it. Well, sometimes there's just no respect for you know, true veterans, right? Anyway, it happens. An OpenCircleFleet gonna be smashed to the ground there. Really unexpectedly, I'm sure, from his perspective. He'll be like, what the heck, you know? But that's how it happens. That's how the battle cruiser party must be. Oh, I've done it again. We need to load game 3 in here. And potentially probably the last again. I'm sure it comes as a surprise to nobody that I think that Descara was the favorite from the series from the beginning. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start. This is his pick as well, the Boneyard, probably his favorite map. So obviously this might be the map that he plays the strongest on out of this series, and it is the potential to end it. So nicely set up here by Descara. I think that's how you want the series to go. Looks like this will be another 2-2 start for OpenCircleFleet. If he wants to do that, by the way, a trick is to just select them all and click on the RUs, because only 2 can go there, so the other 2 guys will automatically slot onto the CUs instead. But I think that usually, unless you have a tech in mind that you want to get immediately, which for Coalition is not really true, usually you want to just start your guys on CUs instead, I think. Because the CUs generally are a bit more valuable for getting you... getting you sort of boosted up at the beginning of the game and get your eco out as fast as you can. The more eco you get, the faster you can get it, right? So these things kind of work a little exponentially. OpenCircleFleet has the LAV Feb started much faster than Descara, actually. Much, 4 seconds. But he has it started faster here, but Descara has the carry production upgrade coming out, so... Gonna mix it up again. This time he's going for... really nice salvager micro. This time he's going for LAV pushing in the early game. And Open does keep his base runner here, which is good, because he might need this when he gets pressured here by this. But I want to see him build LAVs if he's gotten that tech. We'll see if that's what he ends up doing. We do have these LAVs streaming out for Descara, as you would expect. But it looks like Open is probably saving up for the SC now, so I think he's going to go for that. Again, this just slows down the SC timing if you start it after you've already gotten LAV Feb. And if you find out that there's a threat coming, the only option that you've really got here is to cancel the SC and then start building LAVs, in which case you might as well have not started it at all. So I think that is just kind of the wrong order of things. But I've talked about that a couple of times by now, so... You can never beat a dead horse enough. That's my motto. So pack coming up for Descara here. It's obviously going to be a great utility to all of his LAVs that he's got. And this base runner is starting to take fire now, so OpenFleet has... I keep saying that. He has finished his SC, but now comes the hard part. He's got to find a way to not lose any salvagers here. If he can keep this base runner alive, it's actually quite helpful for him. So... yeah, he is going to bring that back, which is good. If you can get it onto the SC and just heal it up a little bit too, that'd be big. But that's why Descara wants to finish this kill. He sees it in an exposed position and says, hey, if I can finish that, that's going to be really big for me. Uh-oh. Yeah, it looks like this is probably going to be forfeit here. Indeed it will. So Descara gets the kill on the base runner right there. He will chunk down this LAV as well. The carrier's power is on healing here, which seems good at first, but like it's never going to match the damage of these LAVs, and the damage of the damage of the healing sounds a little weird to say, but that's how you have to think about this. Like, it has, you know, a damage per second that it heals up, right? It's going to be lower than the damage of the carrier, so putting it on range or on weapons is going to be better in this kind of scenario. If you have like 3 chips of power, I think it's probably good to put one in there and then one in these two, but otherwise you want, which is what you get if you get like an artifact out, right? But otherwise I think that you want to have the power in either the weapons or the range, based on how close your opponent is. And Descara, not really gonna try a dive here. He doesn't need to. All he's got to do to get ahead from this position, again, is he just needs to stop his opponent from getting up to 2 base, right? And that SC is already done, so he knows that that's on the cards here. So he just kind of keeps these LAVs in a defensible position, stops his opponent from moving up, and lets him still feel that pressure that, hey, if I make a mistake, he could dive me here and maybe get like a salvager kill or something. So I've got to be aware of the LAVs. And he's gonna tech in a BC fab here, which I think is maybe a response to what he saw Descara doing last game, but the difference, of course, is that he hasn't got the money for this, right? He's gonna be on 1 base, whereas Descara was on 3 last time. So this is gonna be really, really low tempo. It's not gonna help him get rid of these LAV threats at the beginning of the game. What he needs probably is an AAV, which he has the tech for, of course, but he hasn't built one yet, so... Descara, meanwhile, going for fighter and gunship. That's obviously... The BC tech is maybe going to be like finishing when these strike fighters launch, but even then it's not going to do anything to help, so... This could be also a big deal for Descara. And... I don't really know, yeah, I don't know, like, what the play here is for OpenCircleFleet, to be honest with you. Like, if you put me in his shoes right now, because, like, these fighter and gunship, like, the tech is already done. He's got 3 started. At this point, even if he cancels that and goes straight into missile battery fab, he's still going to take a lot of damage to these strike fighters. So I think, like, he might not realize at all, but the damage has kind of already been done here. Fog of War is a scary thing. Well, you know, what's a circle in 3D, right? Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Interstellar. You know the reference. You just gotta fill it in your head. Another SC here for Descara, so he's gonna move up on a 3 base properly. Right now he's just LDMing. Oh, very. That's the problem, right? Well, I mean, the real problem is he's still on 1 base, but he's got this thing he's got to fix, which is that his opponent is holding him off of getting into 2 base. BCs are too low tempo, they can't do that for you. Whereas he had the AAV tech already, but here come the strike fighters, and Open is going to tech into Assault Cruiser fab now, which is really curious. Because he's already got that BC tech done. That's a really expensive upgrade. It's as expensive as one of the units, so if you don't build any, you're definitely going to be a little bit behind here. And yeah, I was actually going to mention that, Descara, but it looks like you were thinking the same thing. LAV's here, going to waste no time at all to kill that base burner, and then they go back. Oh, he did that perfectly, and then he like made it look stupid. But here come the strike fighters. There's no anti-air again for Open. He's got the LAVs, to be fair, and the SC, but that's it. It looks like Descara here wants to just kill the support cruiser, but he's actually killed the salvager just on top of that, just for fun. Or free, that is. Yeah, and he gets that strike fighter, or, oh my gosh, he gets that support cruiser pretty easy. Does the rest of the missiles into the base runner, which is a little bit curious. I mean, I think the obvious choice was the salvagers here, but doesn't actually finish the kill on it either. But still, good damage for him. And we've got all these techs for Open, but we don't have any units. I mean, the only tech he's actually built is these 2 AVs, so... Missile battery fab coming out then. Another tech here to try and get something to respond. He's got that anti-air turret post as well. It's the right choice, objectively, like, he needs anti-air, but... You know, what's he really gonna do? This is not, this ain't great, I guess I'll just say. Descara here is gonna bleed a strike fighter, it looks like, so he's just gonna commit them back in. Uh-oh. What doeth he? This is definitely a mistake. Oh dear. It's a massacre. Descara is such a noob player. This guy, I mean, he doesn't even know how this game works. Ridiculous. The LAV is here going to pressure that second base location again. These salvagers are still injured, so he is able to get one kill there, bring the other guys even lower than they were before. This AV wants to pressure these LAVs now then, but they could just run away from him. I mean, that's fine, like the AV is going to push him out, but he started the trade when the AV isn't there, which means that he's actually going to lose a lot of LAVs off the start of this. And that suppression is going to confirm the kill on this LAV, but definitely this was still a good trade for Descara. And then if he moves too far out, this is what happens as well, is that the strike fighters will come in and tear him to shreds here. There is another anti-air turret post set up. You saw how many strike fighters Descara lost fighting it the first time, so that's not a bad idea. But now he's moving up into bombers, and there's just not really any way that Open is going to be able to defend against this, especially while he's taking artillery. I don't know about this. I mean, again, it's a very, very expensive tech. You haven't built any of these units, so you end up investing a lot into nothing. And your opponent is, like, you can't do that because your opponent is also going to be getting further ahead in the meantime, so eventually this will come back to destroy you. He's going to dive onto the turret post here now. He does manage to kill it before taking any losses, which is pretty cool. Please be careful with this one strike fighter though, but I kind of suspect he's not really carrying a micro them here, so... But actually all the anti-air has been killed, so he's okay. Missile battery tech is done, by the way, but he didn't build any. It's kind of unfortunate to see. Kinda, yeah. But still, you know, hopefully I've been able to give some good advice here. Triple bomber fab, that's what you love to see. Looks like Descara plans to finish this in style. But the LAVs are going to rip the SC to shreds as well, so you'll love to see it. Descara's bombers should be about finished by now. Yep, here they come. And it's definitely just a case of over-teching, you know. Don't get techs if you don't plan to use them, I guess is what I would say, because they do cost money. And getting behind in the game can often be an exponential thing, so... The missile battery's out, which is nice, it will force the strike fighters away, but the bombers can just totally ignore it. And they will one-shot this carrier, so I think that's probably his plan. Unless he wants to play around with them a little bit, but I don't expect... That's not the kind of a Descara thing to do, so... Donk, donk, and donk the third. Those actually did less damage than I expected, but I figured it would only take 2 to kill him there. But as he crawls from the twisted burning wreckage, hopefully he learned something. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Video? The cast. You know these will get to YouTube sometime, I swear. But for now, thanks for watching. We'll move on to the next one.